CBS The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers revealed that Jack looks like he's about to get involved in some pretty important storyline, and it will certainly be related to Lee because he is suddenly unable to contact Lee. Lee had never cut off contact so suddenly, so Jack was sure she could run into some sort of problem. Although Lee and Jack had some conflicts in the past, Jack still worries about Lee. Besides, he feels guilty about hiding from Lee the fact that Finn is his son with Sheila. Jack also went to Thomas and Taylor to ask about Lee's whereabouts. Lee is an adult, and of course if she disappeared for a short time, then perhaps nothing serious would have happened. That's what most people think, but Jack is different. Maybe it was partly because he wanted to see Lee again quickly, so he was impatient. Jack even went to the police to ask if Lee had been actually acting unusual recently. Unfortunately, the police cannot have such information. Lee is very angry with Jack when he finds out that he cheated on her. Lee and Jack have no children together, and they decide to adopt a baby. That's also how Finn came to this family, and only Lee doesn't know Finn's true identity. It was Jack who wanted to bring his son and Sheila into the house to raise and take care of. Jack didn't tell Lee this, and she was furious that Jack could betray her like that. Lee leaves Jack, and she never wants to contact him again. That's why Jack didn't know about the unexpected stories that Lee had done recently. She saved Finn's life when he was shot by Sheila, but this decision by Lee ends up putting herself in danger. Sheila goes to Lee's place and demands to meet Finn. Lee realizes the danger from Sheila and wants to escape with her car, but unexpectedly, Sheila pursues very hard. Lee's car eventually caught fire and plunged into the river, and Sheila stood up and looked down with a smug attitude. In the end, we only saw Lee's SUV burn and then disappear under the water, but we don't know if Lee escaped in time or not. It's also possible that she swam by a detour to avoid being detected by Sheila. Lee couldn't have passed away in such an unreasonable way, while the plot was still very interesting. Plus, there's been no official announcement yet about Lee's departure from the show. Hopefully she's still alive, or else Sheila will be the most profitable without Lee. Jack, of course, heard the news of Finn's death, and maybe the reason he showed up in town was also to offer condolences. But not only Jack, but everyone else assumes Finn is dead, except Lee, and now there is Sheila. It was Lee who risked her life to save Finn's life, and in the end, she herself suffered the consequences for doing this. Sooner or later, Jack will discover the fact that Finn is still alive, but before that, he must quickly find Lee. Lee couldn't suddenly disappear without contacting anyone. Then there was only one reason that she was kidnapped or harmed by someone. Investigating this shouldn't be too difficult for Jack. He will go to Taylor and get a decisive piece of information. Before, they could not contact Lee. The only person she had contact with was Sheila. The two had a heated argument in the prison visitation, and somehow Sheila also disappeared. That is the first clue that Jack will get, and of course, he needs to continue to dig deeper into this. If Lee disappears and cannot be found, Jack will quickly move on to investigate Sheila. She is still a wanted criminal, and surely the answer will lie in Sheila. Only Sheila knows what happened to Lee. Jack later finds out that Finn is still alive.